I want to show you a 10-step morning routine that will change your life. And I'm Jarvis. I am a high-performance coach and best-selling author of the book Every Damn Day. In this book, I share my whole life's journey. I've gone through the full life cycle of had it all as a super successful businessman, lost it all from burnout, and then regained it all back again. And I documented the whole journey in this book, and I shared the morning routine that I use to completely transform my life and get me back to being a high performer again. And I'm going to share that routine with you right now. And literally, it only takes 10 minutes a day, and that's it. And all you really need is a sheet of paper or a journal. If you don't have a journal, I don't know what you're doing. You need a journal. Every morning you should be sitting with a journal. And so kind of my formula, and so I'll just give you a quick synopsis. I was a super successful businessman, and I started to recognize that I had some pretty bad habits starting to surface, like going out, like coming home and having a drink every night and partying and hanging with friends. And it started to take my life down a downward spiral. And what I was suffering from was I was just going through fatigue and burnout of life. My life had kind of gotten stale and stagnant, and I was just kind of lashing out at things to try to add fulfillment again. And so that took my life down a downward spiral, ended up losing everything I had built. And then I needed to find a way. Like, I had always been a high performer. Even at my lowest, the potential was still there. I just needed a way to tap into it. And I completely revamped my mornings. I read a book called The Miracle Morning, and it really put an emphasis on you really need to fix your mornings. So if you fix your mornings, you fix your life. And so I started engineering a process every morning of how to start my day with more intention and purpose. And I'm going to share with you that exact process that took me from my mom's couch to living in a penthouse. And here's that process right here. And so if you have a sheet of paper, I'm going to have you draw 4 quadrants. You just draw basically a big cross. And the process is called VGAS. And I write about this. I give a very detailed description inside this book every damn day on how to do this process. And literally it'll take you 10 minutes each morning, and I guarantee you it will be it'll be the anchor part. It'll be the anchor in your entire day, so you can have more peace, more control, and more power for the whole day. And so what you're going to do is you're going to draw a line, a horizontal line, a vertical line, and a horizontal line. And you're going to write vision, goals, actions, schedule. VGAS. I don't know if you can see that. Vision, goals, actions, schedule. VGAS. VGAS. And the way I kind of think of it is, it's like how you're going to gas up your day. So every morning you get up a little earlier, and before you just get out there and start trying to drive the car, you got to first put gas in the tank. And so this is VGAS, is how you're going to literally gas up your tank every day before you hit the street driving. And so the vision, I'll walk you through each quadrant. Vision is reconnect to your vision. What is your big picture vision? So not what are your near-term goals, what are the things you're working on right now, but what's your big picture vision? You want to build $1 million company, you want to have an amazing family life, you want to get in the best shape of your life. Like when you close your eyes and let's say a year, 2 years, 5 years out, when you visualize your life, what's the big picture vision? And then what I would like for you to do is to boil it down into one clear statement. And I'll give you an example. So my vision statement is that I'm building a multi-million-dollar movement that will produce abundant income for my family and transform lives around the world. That's one clear statement that encompasses kind of like my big picture vision. So now it's not these individual goals. It's just one really big visionary statement that kind of encompasses what does success for me long-term looks like. It's a multi-million-dollar movement of people that wake up to their full potential every day, and it's producing abundant income for me and my family, and they're proud and provided for. Like that one statement really captures it all. So you can boil it down to one statement, or you can kind of just do bullet points of all the things. So I have additional bullet points that I'll put there. We're living in our dream home. In the best shape of my life. I have a great, I'm connected and well respected. I have a big community where I'm connected and well respected. And so I'll kind of just write these very high level visionary type aspirational big achievements that I want to achieve in my life. And then I'll sit and just kind of close my eyes for a few minutes and really just start to embody it. And here's one thing I'll do. I'll say thank you as if they've already happened. So I'll write these things here, all the big picture things. Big house, beautiful family, abundant income, thriving community, big, multi-million dollar business. And then I'll just close my eyes and say thank you. Thank you as if they've already happened. What I'm doing is getting this deep sense of gratitude that these things are already in the works for me. I'm just kind of tapping into this spirit that these things are already, they're guaranteed to happen. And that's going to put me into this frequency where I start to attract all these things in my life. And then really it kind of primes my mind into like, okay, that's it. So now what do I have to do today to get this thing going? And so the first thing you can do is connect to your big picture vision. The G. The goals now are, now that brings us to the G. The goals are, what are the measurable outcomes that you want to achieve in a near-term basis? And so you can break your goals down into yearly goals. I personally like to break them down to even further, into monthly goals. Sometimes I'll even go to this week. What is my goal this week? And so what are 2 or 3 goals that you have for the month? This could be wealth goal. So for your business, you can be income, number of transactions, number of new customers. It can be health goals. So how many pounds you want to lose this month? Relationship goal. Me and my wife, we have a relationship goal. How many date nights we're going to go on each month? Our relationship goal is 4 date nights each month. But here, now you're going to write, what are the measurable goals? And like I said, break it down as minute as you can. A month is I like a month because it's a good 30-day sprint. And it's really near term. You break it down to the point where you can actually see the finish line. And so in this month, what do you want to hit in your business? What do you want to hit in your fitness? What do you want to hit in the passion project? I had to write a book. My book was one of my goals on here for a while, and it was finish 3 chapters of my book in the next 30 days. And so the goals are, the vision is the big picture vision, the aspirational, the end game. The goals are with the near-term measurable things that you can say, yep, I did or didn't do that. All right, and then now that takes us to actions. Okay, so once you write your goals, now your brain is going to start firing with what are all the actions I have to do today that aligns with these goals. And the reason you don't just start your day doing a to-do list is because your mind is going to randomly blurt out everything that's on your mind. Oh, go to the grocery store. Oh, go pick up this person's birthday gift. Like it's all the minuscule minutia that keeps you busy. Now, if you want to be productive, each of your tasks need to tie to a goal. And so that's how you're making sure that the things you're doing aren't just busy work, but it's meaningful things that's actually tied to a goal. So write your goals first, then come up with your to-do list, then come up with your action plan, because now each of these things is going to be related to one of the goals. Now that's meaningful work. So once you come up with your action plan, the last step is the most critical, and that is to put everything on your calendar. This is where your schedule comes in. And so now your goal is to go hour by hour and put something in each of these time slots. Every single time slot should have an action in it. We call this the 0 calendar method because there should be 0, by the time you finish, there should be 0 blank space on your calendar. And when you have 0 blank space, you have 0 wasted time. This is where a lot of people, their whole day gets thrown off because they have blank space on their calendar. And then their mind just fills that time with randomness, doing chores and errands. I mean, every time, if you come to my house and the house is spotless, I should have been doing something else because my mind will try to procrastinate, and all of a sudden now I'm doing dishes and I'm cleaning the baseboards because I'm trying to procrastinate from doing the heavy thing. And that's what our minds do. If we have blank space on our calendar, our brains will fill that blank stuff, fill that space up with meaningless or no value or low value activities just to pass the time by, because it's really trying to procrastinate from doing heavy work. And so the way you guard against that is you fill your entire calendar up from front to back with your actions that are tied to each of your goals, which align with your vision. You go through this process. Start with your vision, break it down into goals, take those goals and come up with your action plan. Take that action plan and put it on your calendar. VGAS. You will gas up your day and you will explode. What happens when you put a little bit of fire onto gas? it explodes. You will explode through your day with passion, purpose, and productivity. More power than you ever have before. This is the the 4-step routine that I did every morning. This whole process takes about 10 minutes. It took me about 10 minutes to explain it right now, but when you're doing it in the flow, in the heat of the moment, it takes about 10 minutes. So every morning I'll wake up a little early. I wake up 1 hour before my family does so that I can sit with my journal and do this. I'll take a sip of my espresso. I'll get jiggy with my journal and I'll start kind of planning and organizing my day. And then I'll go out and I'll hit the street and I'll go for a run for about 30 minutes. So that whole hour, in that hour, I go through a whole planning process and I get exercise in all before my family wakes up. That is the process that turned my life upside down. It completely took me off, broken, homeless, and helpless, and living on the couch, to literally now my life is filled with prosperity, power, and purpose more than it ever has before. And so now I want to enrich your life with the same process. This whole process is outlined in my book, Every Damn Day. It's a bestseller on Amazon. Go get it and see how it enriches your life. All right, hero, get to it. That's your challenge. Your challenge today is, matter of fact, do this whole process right now. VGAS up your day right now and let me know how it hits you.